What's up, everybody? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day today. I was looking over today's price action. Um, I do see a few pretty nice entries, and you guys, you can call me on my bullshit if I miss something, but it was pretty choppy. So what I see is here we broke below, or actually, sorry, I should zoom out really quick. We were specifically looking for coming from above, breaking below previous day value area week or previous week value area high, retesting and going into previous day value area low. And the first place I see that happening is here. We broke below. We got, this would be our first candle below. This would be our second. And then our third candle actually touched previous week value area high. So now basically we start over. This would be first, second, third. So at this point, we're looking for a retest to get in short, or to get in put, sorry. So this is our first entry here. Happened pretty quick, all the way down to previous day value area low, and then we bounce pretty quickly. The next trade that we were looking for would be a retest of this general area here, which actually happened right here. So this would be our next entry. And same thing, play it all the way down to previous day value area low, which would have played out fairly quickly. This would have been a much better trade than this one, but both worked, right? Our next trade, again, we're always looking for a retest. So this is our first test of previous day value area low. 3 or more 5-minute candles above. This would be your entry. And same thing, I would just be targeting the previous week value area high, which played out fairly quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if people closed here when we got close to it. So far, I see nothing but winners. I could be wrong. Again, here we came up, we retested the same area that we were looking to get in. This would have been like the worst entry of the whole day, because after that we chopped. If you happen to take this entry, it was better. This was really what we were looking for our riskier puts, was a test of the second sig or third sig. You also could have taken it here, but this is not a clean retest, obviously. From there, same thing down to previous day value area low, or again, if you got in in this range here, you'd be playing it down to there. Hopefully nobody got stopped out during the chop. So again, if we're doing retests, this would have been our next retest here, where people probably would have got stopped out, possibly. If not, we made it back up to previous week value area high. And then last but not least, this was a nice clean retest here, where we broke below previous day value area low, came back inside, retest, and you would play it back up to previous week value area high. I mean, you guys can tell me if I missed anything. Like, you could reshort, or sorry, I did think I missed this one. You could have shorted the previous week value area high here, where we came back up and retested and play it down to value area low, and it would have just barely worked, right? But those are pretty much all the retests that I see. But with such a choppy day, there was probably more that maybe I'm missing. For anybody that's here for option setups, I don't have any today. Or I guess more importantly, just didn't have time to look. There's probably some great option setups with the way that we've been arranging. Just at this point, just a matter of time before we get some kind of a breakout. And again, I feel really just kind of the same sentiment as yesterday. Here we tried to break above, go higher, weren't able to. Here we tried again, created single prints. We tried again here, we're not able to. And now again, we're retesting those single prints and failed from there. At the end of the day, they brought it back up into those single prints. But so far, we have just not been able to get above this area. I had said I would be closing my calls if we break above and hold 68.70. They did this morning, but they didn't really keep it up here. And then we rejected from that area, rejected again. I'm still in my puts. So, kind of hoping for a sell-off tonight or possibly over the weekend. I think the weekend is more likely than tonight. Intel did get kind of smacked down today. Nothing too terrible, but like 3 points they lost today. All right. Daily levels. Previous day value area high? I didn't even look. Oh, yeah. I mean, it didn't really give us clean retests, right? You could have got one short from high to low. I think previous week high to previous day value low was the play. Because up here, there's just so much like support resistance, which is why I was specifically saying yesterday to play off of previous week value area high to previous day value area low. I know you're not getting as much of a trade, but that would be the safer play for today. Like the riskier call would have been the second sig, third sig short here or puts here, which we did call out, but they did not quite make it back up to previous day value high. I mean, if you're playing the range, like 25-cent range, then you might have got in, but it actually retested second and third sig like to a T, and that would have been your entry. And we actually called that out yesterday, saying that was the riskier place to hop in puts, but it did work out. This area is getting very congested. And then today our POC is at the bottom, right? D-shaped profile with POC at the bottom. They might try to push this lower. We do have some single prints at the top. Let me just turn on TPO. Basically just created more single prints in this area, which also hints towards going lower. I can't wait for this to be cleaned up. I mean, technically I'm in puts, so I'd rather they just drop from here, but I would love to erase some of this off of my chart as well. We also have single prints at the bottom, so very indecisive as to exactly what we want to do here. All right. We can draw SIGs on the last 5 days. I just realized I wanted to show you guys something. Let me show you really quick. Yeah, Toy, I'll go over that in just a second. I meant to start the video with this just to annoy everybody that's not here for... Oh, wait, what? Everybody that's not here for my personal life stuff. Sorry, nothing personal. Where are you? So for people that were not on yesterday, my son, he got a new 125. He's never rode before. And then obviously clutch and gears. He's never used a clutch before, and this would be his first time on it by himself. Nice and shiny. So anyway, we'll be taking it out to the desert. probably Sunday or Monday. No, I know, Mike. That's why I was like, for anybody that doesn't care, too bad. Yeah, I was pretty happy that he did so well. I was really scared, you know. Pretty scary putting your kid on a motorcycle and being like, okay, here you go. What we did do, I mean, a lot of people might not know this. I've been riding for like 40 years. I started when I was 10 as well, on dirt bikes, but I started in actual dirt. Um, he, you know, obviously he's just so excited to ride it. So, when we first got home, I just had him sit in our street and kind of just, you know, thread the clutch until the bike started rolling forward so he could feel, you know, where the clutch was like engaging and disengaging. And then I had him do the same with giving it a little bit of gas. And then I had him sit on the bike with me, and we went around the neighborhood where I was doing, you know, the throttle and the clutch, and I was having him shift. That way he could get a feel for shifting. And then after that, I had him take over the controls, the clutch, the gas, the brake, and also shifting gears. And I just had my feet like dangling off the back of the bike, and we went around the neighborhood once. So we did all of that before I like set him off on his own. But I didn't want to have him like ride in the neighborhood where he could potentially, you know, like it's so easy to like make a mistake and hit, you know, like hit the back of a parked car, or, you know, go flying off and hitting a house or something. So I took him to a wide open, you know, like empty parking lot, that you guys saw in the video. I mean, there's obviously still a potential of him getting hurt there, but he's not going to take out somebody's vehicle or house or whatever in the process. And yeah, he did good for his first time. A little squirrely, but he kept the bike up and did all right. I also laid the bike down in the dirt and taught him how to pick the bike up himself, because a lot of you know this, but I have a bad back and I can't, like, I won't ride dirt anymore because of all the compression of bouncing and bumps and whatever. So I don't know if I said this specifically. I think I said I have a bad back, but I broke my back like 26 years ago, and it really limits a lot. I mean, like I'm grateful. I'm walking. I'm talking. I can do the important things in life for myself, but things that I used to enjoy, like I used to do extreme skiing, like jumping cliffs, and I used to also snowboard. So like, I'm a better skier than I am snowboarder. So like when I would go to Europe, I would ski Alps and like do extreme skiing stuff, off-piste stuff, jump cliffs or hit like big jumps or whatever. And then anytime I skied, or anytime I went to like a mountain in the US side, at least California, like the mountains here are pretty tame. There's nothing crazy, and you're not allowed to go anywhere but like the designated trails. In Europe, I would always go like, you know, through trees, and like I was never on groomed trails that other people had skied. Pretty much always skiing in fresh powder or snow that nobody's been in. But here, you know, it's all groomed trails, and there's just really nothing. Like you might find a little jump here and there or whatever. So whenever I would ski here in California, or whenever I would go to the mountains here in California, I would snowboard, because snowboarding is more of a challenge for me, but I'm still, you know, like I'm still good, just not as good as I am on skis. Like on snowboards, I would hit a lot of like big jumps, like overhead level. And I would do like, you know, 360s as I'm like flying through the air and land and whatever. I could do all that stuff. I could do slides, you know, like rail slides, whatever. But definitely not as good as I am as a skier. But yeah, what was my point? Oh, so anyway, like I can't do any of that anymore because of like moguls or bumps in the snow. Like it just messes my back up. I can't even jump on a trampoline, like shit like that. So, I had to teach my son. Basically, my point is I had to teach him how to pick the bike up, because all I'm going to be able to do is drive him out to wherever he's going to ride. and then he's going to be on his own. So if he falls, you know, he needs to be able to get that bike up off the ground. I won't be there to help him with it. So I made sure to teach him how to do that properly. And that's it. I'm probably not going to draw first SIGs on this. I'll give you guys the levels in case you want them. So first SIG at the bottom is going to be 680.13. First SIG at the top is going to be 683.39. I will be drawing my second and third SIGs. I don't want to congest this too much, but basically if you want the exact level for your second SIG, 684.73, I'm going to combine it with this single print as there's already just way too much crap up here. Oh, and I think I told you guys this yesterday, but like I made my son call the dealership and negotiate that whole deal on the bike. Meaning he called, they have dealer markup on the bikes, and he basically told them, you know, that we refuse to pay a dealer markup. If they want our business, then they're going to have to take that off. And kind of the same thing here. Our third SIG, 684.82. I'm going to combine that. Yeah, so I had him tell him, you know, if they want our business, that they're going to have to get rid of that. Otherwise, we'll just go to Poway Motorsports, where we know they don't have any dealer markups. I know they don't have a ton of like profit built into those dirt bikes, but Honda thinks it's enough profit. And you know, if you're moving numbers, you're making money. And they claim they just move so many dirt bikes even during the winter that they should just want my business, and they took the deal. So anytime you're in a bracketed market, you probably want to draw first, second, and third. But I really feel like the only place that you might need first SIG is going to be at the bottom, because we don't really have any levels there. But so this is, you know, your first SIG at the bottom. There's nothing here, and that's probably a place that will bounce. But yeah, I'm not interested in first SIG. But I gave you guys the levels in case you want them. As far as going over, Toy asked about entries, right? So what I like to see, one of several things, I guess. Let's find like specific actual entries that worked, or it doesn't have to work. I don't care. I need to like undo what I just said, because if the trade works out or not is completely irrelevant. What matters is like, was there an entry? Trades are not always going to work, even if you get the best entry possible. So the first entry that I see that like sticks out to me, and I'll try to distinguish the difference. So like this is one that is not a trade. We broke below our October value area low here, right? When that happened, this would be our first candle closing below. But then the second candle came up and tapped October value area low. Third candle came up and tapped October value area low. And then our fourth candle ends up breaking through it, right? What it tells me when this is happening is that the participants in the market, well, actually, let me not include that candle. Let's actually just do this to make this a little bit cleaner for everybody. So when this happens, it's telling me the participants in the market are not happy with their price below here. Triple G, if you could let me know what channel, I would appreciate it. Or just link the video or whatever. DM me. So yeah, this is saying the fact that we broke below and then keep retesting this level is saying that the market participants are not happy. And then in the inverse, like if we start playing this forward, here we break back above, right? And basically, what I want to kind of explain also is as soon as I see this, like we break below a level, we keep retesting it, whatever, or even like wicking through it, or another candle closes above. As soon as I see this, like I start thinking there's a potential that I want to take calls off of this level if I get a nice clean retest. And this will end up happening. And generally I would target, like the next level above, unless I have some kind of information that tells me I shouldn't target the next level above as far as like candlestick patterns, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I need to be able to make $2 for every dollar I risk. So my stop loss would have to be at a minimum here for me to take this trade. And basically I kind of look left. Ideally, I would like to have my stop loss below here, but that's not going to happen if I want to take this trade. But I think as like a worst case scenario, if my stop loss is at least below the body of these candles here, I should be okay on this trade. This is not like, again, this would not be ideal where I'd be like, oh, this is like the A++ amazing setup, that you want based on where I have to put my stop loss and my take profit. Like this is not like I would rather my stop losses below these candles, but I'm not able to do that and take this trade. Hopefully that makes sense. So here, this is my first candle closing above. Now I want to see a second candle close above without touching this line or going below it, which does not happen, right? Oh, it does actually. So now I have two. Now I'm waiting for a third candle to open and close above this level without touching it or retesting it or going below it, which doesn't happen, right? So now I'm like, okay, I can no longer take this trade. But now the next candle breaks above and I'm like, ooh, now if I get two more 5-minute candles that completely open and close above this level and we retest it, I can enter long or enter calls. Next candle. So now I just need one more candle. And again, you have at least 10 minutes to plan your trade when this happens, right? So like at this point, I would start planning here. This is my next candle. Completely opens and closes above. So now I'm just waiting for price to come back, do this, and then go to here. And then now this is also nice. Like I have information, like we've already hit this level. So there's a good chance we'll come back and hit it again. And we hit this creating like a poor high. So they're probably even going to want to break through this and go higher, right? So I could possibly even just at this point be like, I'm going to take my profits here. Oops, I didn't want to delete that. And then if I do this, like at this point, my trade becomes a 3-to-1, right? I'm going to stick with the original plan, but good chance that it'll go up to September value area high. I don't remember what happened after. Like I don't try to look. I know this trade worked, but I didn't try to look and see how high it goes so that I can like bullshit you guys and be like, ooh, like, it's going to go way up here. Like it might, I don't know. I really don't remember. I really don't care. This is not about faking things to like, give you guys, like a false perspective on how to trade. I try to be as genuine as possible when I go over setups. And so here, this would be my entry for calls, right? This is my retest. So what this is saying here, that we spent at least 15 minutes or more above this level without touching it again, is that the participants in the market are happy above this level, okay? And so now we just wait to either get stopped out or hit our take profit. And again, I think this goes way higher. And again, like it did exactly what I said, where this is a poor high, so we can probably target the next level above based on that information. And it would have just barely tapped and then rejected off of our September value area high. Again, I didn't look to see if that happened or not. I really honestly could give two shits. I really honestly don't care if the trade didn't work at all. The setup is still good, right? And you're going to have setups that are good and then still have trades that don't work. But you just roll with the punches. That's trading. This is like your next retest, which I don't like to take the next retest because a lot of times, that's showing weakness that we've touched this level once and they come back to it again. But I do think from here they do end up going higher. But again, I don't really care. I got my trade. I would already be done. My computer would already be turned off. Or I'd be watching YouTube or some shit. Playing video games with my son. I don't know, something. Oh, I don't even see these candles. They're way up here. Okay. End of day, gapped up. Okay. So that's how that works. And basically I'm looking for one of three things. Like either we break through a level, have 3 5-minute candles below, retest, enter puts, or enter short, break above, 3 5-minute candles above, retest, enter calls. Or the last one would be touch a level, bounce. And again, this could be like a retest from like, so like this would be our first test, whatever. This is our second test. You could grab this for calls. Or if you're more patient, you can wait for them to retest this and then grab calls here and then go. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. That is how I trade, along with some other stuff, but that's yep, exactly. Or break below a level, 3 5-minute candles, retest, enter short, or enter puts. Oh, it's clips. Who is it? I have a feeling I might know who it is, but I'm curious now. All right, let's zoom out. We're still kind of chopping in the same area. We had talked about this yesterday. They need to break out. Like this would be the amazing setup, right? If we get this. And if that happens, then we're probably going to 695. Not necessarily that day, but that would be the target. Yeah, retests are very common. Like if you look at today, when we went over today, I think there was like 5 or 6 retests that you could trade. And breakouts are pretty terrible to trade. That's my opinion, but what ends up happening a lot, like if we break out, let's say, right? A lot of people hop in on the breakout and then they get stopped out on the retest and then it goes. And then they go, I was in a trade and it pulled back and I got stopped out and then it ran. And you hear that all the time. And a lot of the times it's just them not being patient and waiting for the retest and getting in on the breakout. Okay. That should resonate with a lot of people. Volume on the day, it's the same. Like the last 5 days, we can't even include Friday, right? Yeah, so Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, volume's pretty much identical. Pretty trash. We've been stuck in this area. We need a break above or a break below. And nothing personal, but I'm hoping for a little to the downside, so I can get out of my calls. I mean, my puts, duh. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Right now, futures, we're still just chopping. Let's look at Fear and Greed. I'm sure we're still in the the beginning part of fear, like over here somewhere. Wow. Okay, screw that. We are no longer scared. I mean, we're less scared than we were yesterday, right? Yeah. Interesting. Market calendar, Friday, I believe there's just really not much of anything going on if I remember correctly. Oh, wait, no, I take it back. We have quite a bit going on. Hopefully this gives me my little dumpy dump I need. I don't like to use the word dump when referring to the stock market, but and the reason I say that is like people don't get it. They're like, "Oh, we're dumping," and I'm like, "Really? Like we sold off 10%?" Let me do this for perspective. This would be a dump. I know I'm not going to get it exact, but we'll get it close enough. Or maybe I will get it. Come on. Do it. Whatever. This would be a dump in one day. I'm not anticipating a dump, but I would like a little dumpy dump. So anyway, I'm kind of hesitant to use that word because it's very misused. When you refer to a dump in the stock market, you're talking about a 10% drop in one day, or 10% or more. So I don't want to get people using the wrong terminology. So in Canada, an hour before the market opens, we have unemployment change, unemployment rate. 7 a.m. we have, so 7 a.m. would be 9 my time. Wait, no, 10. Sorry. 10 my time, I apologize. 10 Eastern my time. So 30 minutes after the market opens, we have core PCE, price index month over month, preliminary UOM consumer sentiment, and preliminary UOM inflation expectations. This could be bad. We'll have to see. But this could be enough to have us break to one side or the other, which is what we really want, right? Again, I'm hoping for down, but I'll take either. I'll just close my puts. So, yeah. Yeah, Toy, start waiting for retests. It's just way better. That's how you want to trade. I talked about this the other day. I highly recommend everybody that is not already like profitable at trading, literally spend 2 months just trading off of volume profile and TPO. TPO meaning, or just basic TPO. Poor high, poor lows, strong highs, strong lows. Only those things. And do that for like 2 months. And then once you've done that, start learning like order flow and other stuff. And start combining the two into your trading strategy. Let me open up my other charts. Let's see if there's any clusters that we're particularly interested in. I already looked earlier. I don't think I saw anything. Triple G, why are you not telling me who this person is? And more importantly, why are you cheating on me and watching other people's videos? Probably a bummer that we're late here. Sorry, my bad. This would have been our entry for longs futures traders. Right there. The only issue is like how high can you take it? I guess you could get like 62 to 68, 69. Because this is just where we're consolidating and we're probably not going to go much higher than that. There is a chance, but especially in the overnight session, way less likely. But we don't want to chase right now. And other than that, I don't see anything worth talking about. So let's look and see if we happen to have any imbalances. I doubt it, but let's just check. Actually, let me just check really quick before. I'm not even going to drag the chart up just because it's so annoying. I'm not going to bring it up, but there's a buy-side imbalance from 31 to 34 that was created today. I mean, I would love to see them. Or sorry, it was created yesterday, right at the market open. So 31 to 34, want to look for a bounce there. That would be your spot to hop in long. As long as it's not a falling knife, don't try to catch a falling knife. Okay. But other than that, order flow is not doing anything to help us for tomorrow. Who's my buddy? I don't know. Motivate Finance. I gotta look it up now. And even if it was my friend, like, they should be asking for permission. Whoa. That's literally just straight up one of my videos. Are you kidding me? All right, well, I'll deal with this in a second, but that's crazy. These are all old. It doesn't look like they're making videos anymore. Or I don't know. Are they still making videos? Oh, thank you. My wife is amazing. All right. Where were we? Retests of levels. Like literally what I just went over. Previous day value high, previous day value low, previous week high, low, previous month high, low, previous year high, low. Those are the levels that you're looking for, or your first, second, third SIGs. All right. So, kind of the same thing. We would like to see puts here. I think this is less risky now. Yesterday it was more risky because it would be like the whatever fourth test of this area. But we've created more single prints here today. So it looks like it's still a really strong level. Watch for calls down here. And I should add before I forget, I have work tonight. So as long as the market's not acting stupid when I get home this morning, I should be live in every single area, at least for like an hour. Yeah, but if we're still just ranging, chopping sideways, I'm not going to be hopping on. I don't want to sit with you guys for an hour just watching price chop sideways. Yeah, really, these are the two areas that I'm most interested in. Other than that, see, this is just, it would require such a large move. If they bring us down, down in this range in the overnight session, because there is news before the market opens. If by some chance we lose this, and they probably won't give us a retest. Okay. So just losing this with a tight stop loss, meaning like if we regain third sig, you could just close the puts. But if we lose this, you would be targeting October value area high. Right. So it'll give you a pretty decent move. Almost 4 points or 3.5 points, something to that effect. The next thing that would be interested in is cleaning up this poor high, retesting, grabbing calls. And it could be a retest of the poor high or a retest of the single prints. And if you do that, I would close here. This is a poor high, so they probably want to go higher. I guess we should mark this. But this is where I would want to get out. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, these are going to be, you know, like the best setups today or tomorrow. And it's very doable. We've been stuck in this chop for 4 days now. Some people might say 5, but you can't really consider Friday, or sorry, is it Friday? Friday, I believe, an actual day. That's not what I wanted. I just want to make sure I'm right that it is 4 days. This is Friday. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, it's 5. So we've been stuck here for 5 days. So yeah, we're looking for move out of that area. All right. If you guys have any questions, now would be the time to ask. I am going to go and post a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to call it a day. Go get ready for work. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to cancel me because, like, it's my turn and there's 7 people scheduled tonight. So if it's not busy, they'll probably drop us down to 6 people, which would mean they would cancel me unless somebody called in sick or somebody asked for cancel. And if they are canceling me, they should be letting me know in like 2 minutes here. Alrighty. Yeah, no worries. I'm going to go ahead and chart up ES off stream, getting ready for tomorrow. That way, when I come home, I can just set up a call as long as we're getting some moves. And then we can go live in the morning. All right. Crazy Triple G. Thank you for telling me about that channel. Stop cheating on me. All right, everybody. As always, much love, much respect. Y'all have a good one. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out. Bye.